So picture this. It's mid 2000s. There's a Chevy dealership on the left, a Ford dealership on the right. You got to make a decision where you're turning to go to. So me being 24 years old, just turning that just a couple weeks ago, I remember both these body styles of trucks when I was a little boy when they came out. I thought they were the coolest things ever, and it was the new be all, and everything was new about them. And now they're old trucks here in 2025. So this Chevy 1500 is my dad's actually, and they made this body style the GMT 900 they call it. They made it from 2007 to 2014, which was a pretty long run, I'd say, for one body style. So in the GMT 900, you could get these with a lot of different motors. They came with a 4.3 V6, a 4.8 V8, a 5.3 V8, which that is what this one has, and then some other extra models came with the 6.0 Vortec also. So this isn't a completely fair comparison because that's a 2013. This is an '08, but they made these body styles at the same time at one point, both of them. And so this 5.3 here, it makes 315 horsepower and around 280 feet-pound of torque is what I read online. It might be a little bit more. I can't remember exactly, or 330. But so the 5.0 makes slightly more, but maybe a 2013 5.3 does a little more comparison to the 2013 5.0. But regardless, for these years, man, these things made some power for some half-ton trucks. So these GMT 900s, they came with a 4L60, most of them, a 4-speed transmission. I guess also some of them came with a 4L80, but I think the 4L60 is more common from what I've read. That's what this one has in it. So this configuration of this Chevy 1500 here, it's got the 5.3 Z71 package, 4-wheel drive, obviously. These are rated to tow around 11,100 pounds is what the tow capability was with this platform. I think depending on your motor, transmission, and 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, some could tow a little more or a little less. So another thing we look at is the interior. I do love the interior of these trucks. I like this black cloth. It's seen some days, but it's not terrible condition. I know a lot of big complaint about these trucks are the dashes, which this one is broke right there. But besides that, I like the interior on these trucks. I'd say honestly, for its year, it's probably ahead of its time. It's got a nice big back seat too, plenty of room for everyone you want to put back there. And this has the 5.5 foot bed, chrome package as you can see too. And like any other Chevy this year, there's the forbidden rocker rest. The cab corners are getting there too, but over here in the salt belt, that's what you're gonna get. So this brings me to our next candidate, the 2009 to 2014 Ford F-150. Up until 2011, these only came with a 4.6 Triton, a 5.4 Triton, and the new 3.5 EcoBoost of that year. Which the beginning of those motors, as a lot of you know, those 3 valves were not very good. All kinds of problems, cam phasers, spark plugs snapping off into your head, other issues, and the EcoBoost were brand new too. So they were having a lot of problems too, I think with cam phasers, timing chains, and other different things, turbo issues, and they were just a new motor, so they weren't as developed as they are now. So these 2009 and 2014 Ford F-150s, and also I didn't include the Raptor, Ford F-150 Raptor also, it came with a 6.2 in it. That's a motor I didn't mention earlier. But these all did come with the 6R80 transmission, 6-speed automatic, which is a really good transmission. They actually use those in the Aluma bodies F-150s up to 2018, I believe, when they switched over to the 10-speed. So this truck here is equipped with a 5.0 Coyote. This is a 2013 F-150, and I actually picked this truck up for 500 bucks off of a buddy of mine. And I got a video of this coming out here soon, redoing this whole truck. But the 2013 has 360 horsepower and like 380 foot-pound torque. So pretty good numbers for 2013, I'd say. So this truck is an FX4 package. That's a Z71 4-wheel drive, both 4-wheel drive. And same problem here. This one's starting to rust out on the rockers. It's an Indiana thing, salt belt. But this truck does have leather in it. It's also newer, but the interior of this, man, it's just way ahead of its time in my opinion. Like everything in here is like, to me, 2013. It's crazy. It has the infotainment center. That's from factory one too. So your center console, shifter, captain's chairs with the center console, like I was saying. Back seat is super spacious. I think this back seat is slightly bigger than the Chevys. I'm not 100% sure, but it just feels like it is. So I thought, what better way to test these trucks other than go take them for a cruise? This truck does get on the highway phenomenally. I love the way it drives. I will say this truck rides smoother than an F-150. But that could partially be because this truck's on brand new struts. I put them on like probably a year ago, I'd say. Also, this truck's on stock ride height on stock tires. That F-150 is on 33s with a 2-inch level, and I don't know how old the struts are on it or any of the suspension components. This is on all new shocks, and this thing glides down the highway. So we're cruising now on the F-150. I will say one thing, in my opinion, these F-150 seats, they take the cake. They're comfier, they have better lumbar support all around. I just like the interior and the F-150 better too. Maybe I'm biased, I've always been a Ford guy, but I just like it better. I will say that Chevy does ride smoother, but I was saying this is lifted and bigger tires. I don't know if that's it or if they're smooth. Those are torsion. No, those are not Torsion-key. Those are coilovers still. But yeah, this is smooth driving too. I like the way this shifts a little better with the 6-speed. I think on the highway it does a little better. The fuel mileage actually surprisingly is better in that Chevy. I don't know if it's because it's on stock ride height, smaller tires probably. But this thing's only doing about not even 14 miles a gallon, which I'm not too happy about, but it is what it is. It's the price you pay for driving a truck. So there's a lot of similarities between these trucks and a lot of differences too, but I'd say the beginning of those years, Ford wasn't doing too hot with their Triton motors. They had the old trusty 5.3 still over here at the Chevy world, so I'll give them that, but I'd say the interior transmission on the Ford might be better than the Chevy. A lot of it's opinionated. I'm a Ford guy personally, but I'll admit that the Chevy motors back then are a little better. The Triton era of the Ford was just not that great, especially the 3-valve ones. Leave a comment down below. What if it was 2010 and you had to make that turn? What dealership were you going to buy?